Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome. Yes, you are not seeing my face. This is kind of semi part of our new setup. However, we do not have a face camera, so this is going to be our setup for today. But you have joined Twitchy Tuesdays, where we are thriving live once per week to discuss all the astrology and pull some tarot. So, outside of just not having that face to face chat, we are still here, we are still doing it. And in this episode, we're going to be delving into some energy of Pluto's return to Capricorn. That's a big signature this week. We also have Mercury headed into Gemini, which, I mean, Gemini rising here. We love to have Mercury in his home sign. And we're also going to explore how these cosmic events can influence our lives and use the tarot, which we have right here. You can see we've got kind of multiple decks going on, and use that tarot to offer guidance on how to navigate and harness their energies for personal growth and transformation. So, that is what you can expect. You want to stay till the end. We've got the rune box out. Definitely called to this oracle as guidance, as what we need to do. In fact, that's how we are going to start today, is by pulling a deck. Before, we'll probably clear space first, but before we get into the astrology and start using the tarot to get us some more answers, we are going to be starting right here at the runes box. And like always, all of that is definitely found in the description box, already there, already ready for you. So what is happening here? Well, we moved my setup around and ended up not being able to use one of the other cameras, which was the face cam. Definitely wanted to give you guys the viewpoint of the cards, since they really are the star of the show. And until the new face cam comes in, we're here. We're rocking in this new environment. But this is going to be really exciting, because once the face cam is here, it's a totally different energy, totally different setup. I am so much more comfortable. So this is going to be awesome once it's all kind of officially rolling and working. So to clear space, just like we always do, Q2 goals. We have 1,000 subs on YouTube and 100 subs on Twitch. Those are our goals. We are looking to grow this channel and its offerings, like things like Solar Fire. That's what we want. All June Twitchy Tuesdays, they are scheduled, which means you can head, I think, wait, can I do this? Maybe like this? Bam. Right there. You can head to YouTube. You can go on to the live tab. Head over to Twitchy Tuesdays on YouTube. Head over to the live tab. Hit and smash that notify me button. That will make sure that when I go live, you know about it, and then you can join in on the fun. And speaking of fun, we did end up, and I thank everyone here for their patience last week. I was unable to do the Twitchy Tuesday last week due to my own personal energetic movements. As everybody knows, we all go through this energy together, and all of the things that I talk about here, all of the readings that I do, they impact me as well. And Jupiter has come in to bless me with very big Jupiterian blessings. And it was really, last week was a lot about an integration period that just couldn't be ignored. So the two biggest things that we missed from not doing the Twitchy Tuesday last week was the Sagittarius full moon on Saturday and Venus's ingress into Leo, which occurred just yesterday. So still very fresh, still very new. She met up with Pluto, obviously. So that is where we are actually going to get started. We're going to still talk about those energies from a retrospective point of view, still pull a little bit of tarot for that, and then go from there. But as I had stated, they want to immediately get into this rune deck to really just set the energy and the expectation for this Twitchy Tuesday today. So that is where we are going to start, is with this amazing rune deck. And I'm actually going to need the book for this, because they want to get the information deeper from the intention behind them. So let me there we go. All right. So these were already shuffled. We're going to keep this close. This is the smoky quartz. These are already shuffled, and they just want them to pop out. When I get called, we'll pop another one. We'll pop another one. So first up, we have, let me bring this a little closer for everybody. We have day, Degas is what I'm going to call it. Please correct me or put in the chat if you know it is pronounced differently. But these are earthly meanings: hope, relief, clarity, understanding, progress, spiritual meetings, destiny, higher consciousness, mutability. Um, this is the card. We're going to put this right up here. This is going to be the card that's going to kind of guide everything else that's going on today. And let's get some more information on it. Page 82. So I love that mutability shows up because obviously we've got a lot of things happening in Gemini. Mercury's about to go home this week into Gemini. And destiny and higher consciousness, when we get into the actual astrology for this week, very, very much aligned with that as well. So at the very end of the runic alphabet comes this symbol of cyclical renewal. It reminds us that as each day finishes, another begins. The plain meaning of this rune's name is day. The early Germanic word is related to the word for day in many modern European languages. As for the rune pictogram, the triangles emanating from the central point most likely represent the rays of the sun. So those are going to be right here. Just like the triangular sides of the Egyptian pyramid joined at the summit, so the same symbol crops up in different forms across eons and civilizations. Degas, like Jira, invokes the natural cycles of the planet and the wider universe. But while Jira speaks of the rewards that come after a long period of work and right effort, Degas indicates the dawn comes whether we deserve it or not. It reminds us that hope is always with us, and those who struggle in the darkness of night eventually emerge into the light of day. This most fortuitous rune reinforces that our state of mind is often the most important arbiter of happiness, and that a breakthrough in attitude may be all we need to change our situation. We do not always need to win or to achieve. Sometimes we simply can be happy with what is or what will be. This rune has no reversal meaning, and there is no end of days, and each new day is a broad and limitless as the sky at dawn. That is our energy. That is the message that we are grounding into on this Witchy Tuesday, headed into the week of 6/6. So that's where everything starts. That simple reminder that hope is always with us, and those who struggle in the darkness of night eventually emerge into the light of day. And I love that additional message of like, it really is mindset. And again, as we go into, we are in Gemini season, and as we get into this Mercury into Gemini after he's been kind of trudging up the earthly realm in Taurus, that's going to come out. That is that clarity, the air, the mutability, the ability to see beyond what is right in front of you and what you are going through right now. Okay, so let's get to the astrology again from last week. We've got the Sagittarius full moon and Venus in Leo. So I'm just going to give, while I shuffle, I'm going to give kind of a high level overview of what we had talked about, what I had kind of written down. And when I say we, I mean we, Moni and I, over at Red Pill Astrology. If you have caught the June 1 through 10 that was released, there was some information on the Sagittarius full moon there. But see kind of how this played out for you, right? It just happened. We waned out of those energies, but see this retrospective period. Let's see what happens. So the Sagittarius full moon happened on 6/3/10:41 p.m. Central at 13 degrees, 18 minutes. What I wrote down for this moon was the vision and pleasure of that which is not discoverable. That was where my being went, and where my phrase for that moon is what is visual, what is pleasurable, but something that it's like not discoverable yet. It's that area of space in the higher realm where it's not like you're still dreaming. You're still moving forward. Nothing is here yet. You're still in that process of creation. You're still like, we've got this, out came the Seven of Swords, Page of Wands, Knight of Cups. You're still in this process of moving. Look at how these cards came out. Look at every face. Each face is pointed to the right. It's pointed in the right direction. It's pointed in the forward motion directed. It's not pointed backwards. It's not pointed to the past. This Sag full moon, everything is coming forward. Everything is here. It's not complete yet. This isn't like the end of everything. There's still work to be done. The Knight of Cups. There's still dreams to come up with. There's still Page of Wands. There's still action that needs to be taken. The Seven of Swords, there's still discernment that's needed as each of these things are coming in. You do have to still make decisions, make cuts, take that action, move forward in that strong integrity. And the reason why is because Venus in Cancer was the anchor of this moon. Now, Venus ingressed yesterday into Leo. So during this moon, she was our anchor. She grounded this entire moon down because the moon, and this has been happening, I'm getting goosebumps right now. This has been happening multiple times, enough to where it is now a pattern that I am now noticing, which is a moon with no aspects within 3 degrees of it. Nothing. I don't remember any time over the last few years that we have had this many moons in a row where there's been no aspects. The moon is, it's like everything else is the star of the show, and the moon is there to just brighten it, highlight it, or keep it in the dark so you have to like dig it out and bring it forward for yourself. And this star of the show is Venus. So I got the image, and this is great with these cards that are out. I got the image of like an old explorer, like Magellan times, right? Where they were they did everything through ships. I just got this image of this old explorer on a ship as the ship is like rocking and rolling and doing everything, just writing in his journal about what he was exploring, about the new world that was coming, about his dreams, Knight of Cups, about the actions that they were taking, the Page of Wands, about the things that they had to let go of. Those journeys were not without fraud. They were not without discernment. They were not without having to make quick decisions in the heat of the moment based upon what came in at that time. If a storm all of a sudden came in, that may mean, hey, our awning's down. We have to get different provisions. We have to throw some things overboard. We have to lighten the load. We've got to do this. We have to do that. We have to make these compromises as life continues to happen. However, the consistency, what is consistent between all of these is there is action being taken towards the goal, towards the future, towards what you're working towards. And the consistency part about the vision was, even if the boat is going up and down, even if it's a rocky road, even if the seas are really tumultuous right now, you still need to be on your habits. You still need to be writing down your journey. You still need to be acknowledging. You still need to be dreaming. You still need to continue to do the work, no matter the chaos that's around you, essentially. And again, if you want a more detailed overview, Red Pill Astrology YouTube channel at Red Pill Astrology on YouTube. You can take a listen to June 1 through 10. It's already live. There's even shorts there too as well that goes over this moon in detail, including the actual full chart for the moon as well. So that was the Sagittarius full moon. Let me get these back. And now Venus in Leo. So I am very, very, very excited about Venus in Leo. And she has an extended stay here. So she got in 6/5. That was yesterday. She goes to her pre-shadow phase. Yes, Venus is having a retrograde in Leo this year. This won't happen till July, so we're not going to focus on that. I just want to give you the overview of what Venus in Leo looks like, and then we'll focus on what Venus in Leo, kind of those traits are as Venus goes into this transit. So 6/5 she ingresses. 619, she heads into her pre-shadow phase. She will retrograde on 7/22 and she'll station at 28 degrees 36 minutes. So she gets really far into Leo. She almost goes the whole way. And right before that finish line, she gets tugged back all the way back to, and Queen of Wands just came out. If that ain't, hi Venus. Hello, darling. So happy to have you here. She will go all the way back to, wait for it, she will station direct on September 3rd at 12:12. September 3rd is also a 12, by the way. So when we get to September, we'll definitely be talking about this very interesting 12 and the numerology about it. And, we'll get into that as we get into September. But again, if 12 is your number, shout it out in the comments. Let us know if 12 is one of your lucky numbers, because this 12s are speaking right now, especially with this Venus in Leo retrograde. Then on 10/7, she'll exit her shadow phase. So what that means is she is stationing direct at 12 degrees, 12 minutes. So when Venus hits 12 degrees, 12 minutes of Leo, which she will do on 6/19, that is when her her pre-shadow phase begins. She'll go all the way to 28. She'll head all the way back to 12. And then she has to go all the way back to 28:36 to exit her shadow phase. Hello, hello. Is it Angus Stone 96, I think? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to Twitchy Tuesdays. So she will exit that shadow phase on October 7th. Then next day, I mean, we're talking hours, she will ingress into Virgo. So she's retrograde for 42 days. Look, hi Venus. Hey you, doing your thing over there. Look, she's even got the lions right here. Let me pull this up. So this is the Queen of Wands card. She's got these two lions that flank her right here. She's got the sunflower, which really brings in that leonine energy. Wands are always, associated with the fire signs, but really Leo comes in strong here, and just Venus being her queenly righteous self, as she should be. And she has a really important job. Again, she is also facing into the future. She has a very important job here. Retrograde for 42 days. Mercury retrograde in Virgo happens while she is retrograde in Leo. Chiron will also station retrograde in Aries during that time. And this is all with a square to Uranus. And Jupiter is involved too. There is a lot about this. Like when I did the 2023 astrology overview at the beginning of the year, it is on the channel. You can catch it and replay it back. This was a major signature point, this Venus retrograde in Leo, with everything that is going on. So part of this retrograde, and again, we will talk very much in depth when we get to July about this, but Mars is here with her. So Mars is already in Leo. Mars is already leading the way in Leo. He has already set all the things up that is necessary for his queen to come in and thrive. And he's going to stick with her until July 10th. So it's what's called an applied conjunction, but they never quite actually conjunct where they're exact with each other. And that can be frustrating. Look, Venus is in Leo. She is hot to trot. She wants her man. She wants to do all the things. And he is, look, the Ten of Swords pops out. He is doing the things that he needs to do, and he is leading the way. And that Venus and Leo can get frustrated. I am a Leo sun. I know. And it really is about this time. Don't allow that frustration, this Ten of Swords, don't allow that frustration to cloud your movement forward. Because this is all that's going to happen. If all you do is focus on that frustration of, I just want, but I can't exactly reach it, it's kind of out of my it's kind of out of my grasp. I can't really get there. We can't get on the same page. We don't really know what's happening. Like, there just seems to be confusion. If you allow that frustration to fester, to get in the way, this is what's going to happen. You're going to be face down in the mud, not being able to see anything. And this is all you're going to be able to see and feel is this frustration. Don't get frustrated. There's time for that. You can have a moment, but don't allow each of these frustration swords to just peg you in the back and keep you down, because this is all part of it. There is a reason why Mars needs to go first. There is a reason why the things that we want, the action that we want to take, we can't exactly grasp in our Venusian things in life. We can't exactly get there. And there is a reason, because Mars has to lead the way. He's the masculine. Mars has to lead in action. That's not Venus's job. There's a reason why the Queen of Wands is sitting on a throne, not moving somewhere, right? She's not up on a horse. She's not taking action. She's not the Strength card where she's hugging Leo. The Queen of Wands popped out, sitting on her throne, allowing things to come to her, allowing with the Eight of Wands, allowing Mars to take the action that's needed, to take the lead. And this can be a new concept, right? It can be a new, where, there's a fragility to Venus's ego right now. She just got out of Cancer. She's, swimming in the oceans, having this lovey-dovey moment. And now she gets into this fiery Leo where she wants to take action, and it's time to sit down. It's time to allow somebody else to take action for you. And it is truly now about how is Venus going to react. I mean, you could even put this like this. With the Queen of Wands at the head, Venus, how are you going to react? How are you going to choose to react? And I will say, I don't know if anybody else has felt this. If you do, you can throw it in the chat or throw it in the comments afterwards. But there has, this year has really been it's 2023, the year of how we react. That has shown up so much in my personal life, is understanding how I react to things, how I allow things to come into my life, change my decisions. It's all about taking that info and then, okay, what do I now do with it? Venus in Leo, how is she going to react? Is she going to sit in this frustration? Is she going to be over dramatized? That is a big word for Venus and Leo. Watch being overly dramatic. Is she going to be overly dramatic? Or is she going to take the right action that she needs to, which is to let Mars lead and follow his lead? That doesn't mean she's going to be sitting down the whole time. No, that's not how that works. She's still going to have to do things. She's still going to have to do things for Mars, but Mars needs to take that lead. Mars needs to go, okay, this is the decision. This is what we're sticking with. This is the action plan. Execute. What is the reaction going to be there? One other thing that I'm really excited about, I'm really excited to see social media. So just watch. We can check back in let's say like August, and just see what type of fun social media things have played out, because truthfully, there is going to be reactions on a Venus retrograde in Leo, with the drama, with the scandals, with the sexual energy. There is going to be some really, social media is going to have a lot of fun. I'm just saying, like, get your Twitter account ready, be scrolling. I'm really excited to do a little astrology IRL on that, just to see how everybody reacts to this. Now, there is Jupiter. Uncle Jupiter's here for support and help, and we love that. He is like the uncle. Even more so in this time frame, I actually pegged Jupiter for Queen of Cups out. I actually pegged Jupiter more for an older brother than anything, like a mentor, maybe even a strong partner. But the Emperor, there we go. Queen of Cups and the Emperor comes out. Again, another queen, right? Here, so here's another Venus signifier. However, she is also sitting down, but facing the past. And then the Emperor right underneath her, sitting in his throne, facing forward, like, and this is Jupiter. Yo, sis. Yo, sis. I see you. I see you, sis. No, we ain't doing that. Like, Jupiter, represented by the Emperor here, is going to be checking his baby sis immediately. Nah, we ain't doing that. So really, wherever Jupiter, however you work with Jupiter, however Jupiter is coming in, really begin to work and hone in on that, because Jupiter is here and she will be meeting him 3 times. So she's going to meet him before retrograde, after retro, or during retrograde, after retrograde. So this is a conversation, and Jupiter is here for massive support during this time. He is in her sign. Jupiter is sitting in her sign in Taurus, just giving her all of the love, all of that good energy that is needed for her to really stand in her power and move forward and do the things that she needs to do, following Mars, checking her ego, reacting better. We don't want any of this. This 10 of Swords, we don't want any of that shit. We want that over there, right? We'll definitely talk more in July, but for now, a great suggestion to be prepared is to look at the house Venus will be retrograde in and the houses that Venus rules. So she rules Taurus, which you can see right here: money, possessions, earning, power, financial values. She also is the ruler of Libra, which is partnerships, marriage, legal matters. That's the traditional 7th house. So you want to look in your personal natal chart and find out where Venus is transiting. First of all, in Leo, what house is that for you, or houses, depending upon what you choose to use. And then also look at what house Taurus is in, what house Libra is in, and begin to just feel into that. Because no matter what, when Venus gets into her retrograde, those houses, all 3, the one she's in, the 2 she rules, is going to be coming up for review. There's going to be something there for you to look at. So that is Venus in Leo with her retrograde, just to give a high level overview. A couple of more things, just Venus in Leo. If you have Venus in Leo, if you're having your Venus return, Venus in Leo is very significant around, like, this kind of the energy signatures is very calculated, very attractive, very loyal, very colorful, extremely compassionate, right? It's all of those wonderful Leo traits. You can see Leo here, the house of Leo, which is pleasure, romance, love affairs, holidays, self-expression, creativity. Venus just comes in and makes all of those things way more beautiful, way more luxurious, way more sensory. Like, it looks good, it feels good, it smells good. And there is, Venus doesn't want to be pushed around in Leo. She doesn't want to be told to be the good girl in Leo. She doesn't want to be like this, she's kind of grown up, right? Like, she's kind of grown up. She's not the teenager anymore. Like, yeah, she might be in her 20s. Yeah, like, we need to give her some warning, but this is like that good 20s vibe, right? Where you're like, this is where I make my mistakes. This is where I go and experiment and explore and just, you can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me what's going on. That's that Venus and Leo vibe, and letting her come to her own conclusions is the best for everyone. Don't forget, she rules a fixed sign. Leo is a fixed sign, very good at being fixed. Venus knows how to be fixed, knows how to dig her heels in and knows how to like set things aflame. If she doesn't like it, bygone. We're done. So it's just kind of extra signatures just to listen or just to hone in on. And we just had the 8 of Cups and the 3 of Rods come out. So the question that I was going to actually get to next, which I think is where these two cards are coming from, is who is manipulating, and is it you manipulating you? So another just kind of journal, a journal prompt for everyone on this Venus and Leo and getting into this Venus and Leo transit overall, regardless if it was a retrograde or not. Um, there can be this signature of manipulation, and it is understanding who is manipulating. Are you the one manipulating others? Right? Are you the one putting out these cups and just like walking away from them and letting other people find them? Are you the one that is being manipulated? Are you, do you have relationships around you that are manipulating you where they're trying to tell you like, hey, this extra cup is over here, or go find that other cup over there, or hey, don't worry, you don't need to be fully fulfilled. The fuck? What? No. No. So like what is, and also this can be a lot about the mental too, which is how are you mentally talking to yourself through this, and are you manipulating yourself into believing things that aren't true about you, right? Like, oh, I don't deserve this extra cup, it ain't for me. I don't deserve this extra cup. Oh, that promotion, I don't deserve to get that promotion. Oh, this can be this missing cup here. It can be like, look, he's kind of like downcast, like walking with his pole. It's like victim syndrome. It's just this like weighing energy that needs to be let go of. It's okay that you only have 8 cups. In fact, that's perfect. That's exactly what you need right now, because you're not ready to have 10 cups, right? We're working on getting to that. You need to get out of this manipulation. You need to get out of this kind of mindset. Again, going back to our rune, right? Going back to our original first rune that came out, and we're going to pull another rune here in a second. But you got to get out of that. There is power in standing tall. There is power in, again, surrounding yourself with these 3 of Rods, surrounding yourself with accurate people, places, information, all of those Gemini sort of things that are healthy for you at this time, and knowing how to discern the difference between that. It's, again, who's manipulating you, and is it you manipulating you? And then how do you go about working and fixing that? How do you go about bringing the necessary structures, the necessary rods into your life to lean on, to ask for support with? Because I mean, really, like I said, lean on, but he's not leaning on these rods. He's having them support him. Very, very different, right? Very different than I'm walking away from everything. I want to ignore this hole here. I want to ignore whatever this cup was trying to teach and tell me. So we are going to pull a rune. One of, it's just a good Venus and Leo. It's just a good time to get like, let's go. It's summertime, baby. Let's go get our stuff together. Let's go out and have fun. Let's go and, we're all leveling up. Like I got that message loud and clear, and hence part of why Twitchy Tuesdays wasn't Twitchy Tuesdays last week. Message loud and cleared and received. It's time for a level up. And that may be taking a moment to get there, and that's okay. But we are all upgrading right now, all on a level up. And it's how you choose to move through that level up that is setting the tone. It's really setting the tone for the rest of this year. All right, let's pull another rune here. We have the word, translation fate, earthly meaning, uncertainty, unknown consequences, acceptance, trust, the unknowable, and fate. So let me bring this up so that way Perfect. All right, let me put that here. Let's see what more information we get for this. 84. Ooh, all the way in the back. Both of these have been all the way in the back of the book. The 25th rune, a modern addition to the set, is blank. Word, which means fate, is the name of one of the Norns, the female entities who preside over human destiny. You can't make that up. They are the Norse equivalents of the Fates in Greek myth. The Norn, known as Word, was concerned with the past, her sisters with the present and the future. The blank rune could be said to convey the message that our task is to accept what is, because our destiny has already been decided. As its blankness suggests, it is neither a negative nor a positive rune. It can stand for two things at once, or for two opposing aspects of the same thing. The Norns are the model for the three witches who taunt Macbeth with his fate in Shakespeare's play. That is not to say that the rune ward is a malign influence. I hope I said that word right. It may mean that the question you ask is unanswerable and that the consequences of taking your current path will be revealed in their own time. Often the meaning of word can be clarified by the other runes in the casting. If these are positive runes, such as Sowilu or Wunjo, then you may expect events to take an unexpected but happy turn. If it appears with harsher runes, such as Hagalas, then the difficulties the querent faces are inevitable and must be endured with as much grace as possible. Sometimes the blank rune may act as a reminder that some things should not be known. Perhaps the querent is probing into areas that should not concern him or her. We cannot know all there is to know. The greatest secrets are revealed in their own time. Message received for Venus in Leo. Word. We got it. Thank you very much. All right, let's get to the astrology of this week. Okay. So 6-6 and 6-7 today, tomorrow. We ain't got nothing. There is no aspect within a 3-degree orb, which is awesome. Gives us some time to really integrate this Venus in Leo because, oh yes, don't want to forget because that's going to bring us to 6-8, which Venus in Leo squares the North Node in Taurus at 3 degrees and 5 minutes. Not only does Venus ingress into Leo, but as we have been talking about, all ingresses into a new sign with our planetaries mean that they have to meet Pluto. So she met with Pluto right after she ingressed. I think it was like 3 hours into her ingress. And I got this image of like Pluto being strong and tough, like in the corner, and Venus just like enters this realm of fire and she is like basking in the glow, and then Pluto just like sucks all the air out of the room and all the fire just goes with it. It's like, done. Listen, you have to come meet with me. We have to talk. And I love that Pluto is here every step of the way this year, really checking in with us, really giving us the opportunity before we just go fucking ham sandwich in a sign, and before we just go out there and like willy-nilly put all of our shit out there. Pluto is really like there to say, how does this fit within the bigger plan? How does this fit towards your self-mastery? How does this fit towards your transformation? How does this, et cetera, and on and on and on, depending upon what planet is moving into what sign. Pluto has that number. So she gets in with Pluto. Then on 6-8, she meets up with the North Node, and that has also been a theme over these last couple of months. So coming off of that opposition with Pluto, this is a hit to future, to the destiny, right? To the unknown, to where are we going? What is all of this happening? What is happening? And I wrote down, which I love that the word is here because it essentially was like, so hey, things aren't always supposed to be known. Hold the vision and trust the process. Mantra that. Mantra, hold the vision and trust the process, because that is what this Venus Leo square north node, we had the Four of Swords come out. This is trust in the process, right? This is, I am in deep meditation, holding this vision, making sure that this vision is coming to light, and I am trusting that all of these swords just don't come crashing down on me. I am trusting that as I lay here, as I take this opportunity to hold that vision, that it will come to fruition as I continue to go down my path. Trust what has happened. Trust what's happened over this last year and a half as the North Node has been in this Taurus Scorpio axis. Trust what came up for you. Trust that what you went through, because we all went through stuff. As Taurus and Scorpio, the North Node and the South Node was moving through that access point. Things changed. Things occurred. Trust that that was the best thing for you. Trust that what happened is on purpose. It happened for you. Trust that what you learned, trust yourself, right? This is a lot about trusting self. Trust yourself. Like, what have you learned? And go forth and make it the best version for you in your journey. That's what Venus is here to do in Leo, is what was this learning? It could have been really messy. It didn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can look like a hot mess, and Venus can come in and clear it up. Make it like the 5 of Cups. Yeah, this is not lamenting time, right? Like, this is understand where you're going. So and I forget the name, the Japanese bowls or the Japanese art form. Somebody pop it in the chat or put it in the comments after, but that Japanese art form where when things get broken, they mend them back together with gold. That is exactly what's happening right now. Is it this trusting that this journey that you went through, this 4 of Swords and 5 of Cups journey, this like hard fought, hard won battle of self, of everything as the nodes have been going through Taurus and Scorpio, that Venus now can come in and make it the best for you. Make it the best version of yourself. Take away, chip away at this hard stone of this, sarcophagus, chip away at, wait, it's not a sarcophagus, is it? Well, chip away this hard stone at the, that's on this 4 of Swords. And then also pick these cups back up and fill them back up, right? Turn this person around and show that there are 2 of Cups behind them, that there's still all of this energy that's available to them. So again, it goes back to be mindful of fixed mindset. Be mindful of victim blaming. Be mindful that how are you reacting to what you've been through? Know that it's for the higher purpose. Then on 6/9, Mercury in Taurus will square Neptune in Pisces at 27 degrees, 34 minutes. And it is time to pull another card. We have Kenna's. This is Torch. Knowledge, new outlook, creation, understanding, ideas, inspiration, vision, inner guidance, and enlightenment. I'm just pulling at this point whenever they tell me to. When I get the ding, cards being pulled. So we'll get to Mercury, Taurus, square Neptune, and Pisces here in a second. Let's find out more about this rune. 6. All right, so torch. The literal meaning is torch. The shape of the rune symbolizes a beam of light, and it is associated with knowledge, understanding, and clarity. It sheds light on a situation. That connection between torch and knowledge is etymological as well as metaphorical. The root Ken is very ancient and goes right back to the source of Indo-European languages. The K in the English known is from the same root. The word can, knowing how to do something, is related, as is the German kennen, to be acquainted with a person as opposed to being familiar with a fact. Kenaz is a powerful rune. It may suggest a sudden insight, a light bulb moment that helps us to view our circumstances with clarity. The querent should be ready to embrace innovative ideas and new approaches. If you have been unclear about your direction, this will light the way. Knowledge involves sharing ideas with others and learning from what has gone before. It is no coincidence that it is associated with the owl, which can see what others can't and is linked with wisdom. The torch gives warmth as well as light. Thus, this symbolizes the fire of creativity. Venus and Leo. This is a positive time for crafts and artistic pursuits, so Venus and Leo, or perhaps another creative act, the birth of a child. So, coming out right as we got done talking about Venus, Leo square the North Node in Taurus. Insight coming in, clarity coming in, a new way to see things coming in, new perspective. It goes back to our original rune for this entire day, this entire Twitchy Tuesday session comes back to this mutability as we move through Gemini season, as those ideas come through. We're here, we got the torch. All right, Mercury, Taurus square Neptune, Pisces, 27 degrees, 34 minutes. So this is really about applying what I kind of read into this. Mercury has been in Taurus for a significant amount of time, more time than normal because he had his retrograde here. And Mercury, you know, in the earth sign, especially in a fixed earth sign, Mercury is, let's see what pops out here. 5 of Cups. Mercury's stuck. Mercury trudges through Taurus, especially with his retrograde. It's a slowdown. It's an extreme slowdown. It's something that needs to be, again, this retrograde needed to be relooked at, needed to be really understood, needed to have time be taken, not to have that initial reactionary moment. And now that he's on the other side, this is at 27 degrees, so he's almost done, about ready to head into Gemini. He'll head into Gemini 2 days after this. He first meets up with Neptune, which I just kind of read into. We got the Devil and the Hierophant coming out. I read into as like applying otherworldly expertise, the Hierophant and the Devil, to your very worldly conversations, this 5 of Cups. So, you know, here is the earth, here is grounded, here's the feelings, here's the thought processes of all that's going on. And Neptune, the square to Neptune is like, bro, I'm here. I told you. We've had this conversation. You forgot. Look to the otherworldly areas. Look to the higher self. Look to, look above. Look within. Look in these other areas. Like, don't forget about the woo. Like, can we not forget about the woo? Right? We don't want to live in the woo. We don't want to like dive into the woo and stay there, right? All of that. But there is purpose for it. Go back to that. Go back to the things again as you've been on your journey. If things have changed for you, if you were, for years just in the woo, sucked in, doing all the things like this super higher spiritual, and then became more grounded into the earth, it's okay to tap back into some of those things. It's okay to go back there. Go back to the beyond, connect back. I mean, some of this is even beyond us, right? Connect into the galactic experience, connect into higher realms, higher guides. And then, as Mercury's moving through, as Mercury then leaves Taurus and heads into his home sign in 2 days, Mercury can take all of that with him and then apply it. Bring it forward, just dissect it a little bit more, understand it a little bit more. What did the Devil have to offer? What did the Hierophant have to offer? Because these are two very different energies, right? The Devil and the Hierophant. And they both have value. They both have something to offer. They both have ideas on how to turn these cups around and on how to take these 2 cups and maybe like, again, this could be the Devil's like, F those cups. We don't need those damn cups. You got 2 behind you, bro. Turn around. Where the Hierophant could be, hey, I know how you can pick these up. And then if you actually take these other two, now you have 5. One's not better than the other. This is all about you and your journey and your discernment and how you're going to be processing through all of that as Mercury, first of all, will trine Pluto before he ingresses into Gemini. And that trine is a big one. That one is one because he's got to get here first, get the information, bring it to Pluto, right? Get this information, whatever is happening here, this conversation, bring it to Pluto. And that's where we are going to head right now, which is on 6/11, 6/10. There's the conversation between Mercury and Neptune. That's what we want to focus on. But on 6/11, Mercury will trine Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. Mercury is still in Taurus. And wait for it. This happens at 30 degrees. What? That is... Now we've had a lot of 0 degree things that have occurred over this year. I can't remember the last time I was like in studying astrology when as an active study where I have seen something happen at the 30 degree point between 2 planets, especially this outer planet and this. Like it just doesn't come into my mindset. Obviously it happens all the time, right? It's not to say that it never happens, but since I've been studying this, to me like really stuck out as, whoa, 30 degrees, that is full completion. That's full completion for Pluto. That is full completion for Mercury in Taurus. That is Pluto retrograde heading just back into Capricorn. So he's already been here. Like there's a lot about this that, again, it's Mercury and Pluto have really steadily been working with each other this whole year. This whole year, they have been doing some things together. And I actually think typically I normally say like Pluto, right? We talked about Venus, like Pluto's got something to give Venus. I actually think this is the other way around. I think Mercury has something to give Pluto. And with that Devil and the Hierophant card that came out, that might be what it is. That there's like something that Pluto needs to know. Because don't forget, Mercury is finishing his time in Taurus, an Earth sign. Pluto is going back to Capricorn, an Earth sign. It's almost like Pluto has spent, and I mean, it's only been a couple of months, but he has spent enough time in Aquarius that Mercury is like, bruh, here's what's happened. Hold on. You need to sit down and get a drink. Like, you need to get a drink. You need to get a cigar because we got something to talk about. You're not going to believe the shit that's been going on Earth, in the Earth, as you've been in Aquarius. Like, we got to go over this. Let me lay it out for you. Let me bring it down. There's just something that Pluto needs to know. And that might end up being how Pluto moves through and reacts and does the things that he does as he's retrograding back into Capricorn, back to 27 degrees. So right after this trine, though, Mercury then goes straight into Gemini. So it's like, hey, before I literally take off and fly, let me get you this information. Like, I ain't got a lot of time. I gotta catch a red eye, so I gotta go. And then the same day, so this is all on the 11th. Mercury, Taurus. So let's revert that. Pluto retrograde will head into Capricorn first. Then Mercury and Taurus will trine Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. Then Mercury will head into Gemini. And as all of that is going on, Venus makes her first square to Jupiter in Taurus at 5 degrees, 38 minutes. We talked about that already with the Venus and Leo, how Jupiter is here, her brother, that we're not going to cover that. We're going to cover this Mercury and this Pluto retrograde in Capricorn more, but that also happens on the 11th. So as these other conversations are happening, again, this is where don't know how to discern between the Two of Cups. Just like the word, You can have both things be true at once. You can listen through Pluto and Mercury and listen to Venus square Jupiter. You can do both of these things at once. It's being prepared. It's knowing they're going to happen. It's listening in those quiet spaces. It's tuning inside, right? This is probably why Mercury square Neptune is happening first, because it is going to allow us to tap in. It's going to give us that moment to tap in, to be prepared for what's coming up. So let's talk about Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. So ingressing back into Capricorn, honestly, like, here we crumble. Here we crumble. Like, I'm ready. Bring it on, Pluto. Like, we're ready. We're ready for you to transform. We're ready for you to, like, just scrub away all of the shit that's been caked on. My husband and I right now are watching Silo, and it's like Pluto's going out to clean. If you guys are watching Silo, drop it in the chat, drop it in the comments. It's a great show on Apple TV, but this is like Pluto's going out to clean. I got to clean up all this shit that just happened since I've been in Aquarius. So he's going to dig up some things. Just know he will absolutely be digging up. He doesn't give two fucks about your feelings. That is Pluto. Feelings are not involved in this decision. The only thing that Pluto is, and we have the, actually, I'm going to get three. So we have the Four of Cups, we have Temperance, and we have Ace of Swords. The only thing that Pluto cares about is self-mastery, your highest transforming at the highest level possible and making sure that you're moving in your direction. He wants to provide you with that level of power and autonomy within yourself. And he does that through many different ways. Again, does not care about your feelings. He's not going to give this bone to you with this Four of Cups. This isn't right. It comes back to our initial rune. It comes back to sometimes it's just about changing your mindset about something. Sometimes it's just about, like, here in this Four of Cups, he's like all lamenting here, right? Because oh, we're so sad. Pluto doesn't give a fuck about our feelings. Wah, boo-hoo, me. When Pluto's like, bruh, look, I got this cup right here. What you doing? Look up. Change your mindset. Do that. That doesn't get you to your self-mastery. That doesn't get you where you need to do. It doesn't get you into a space of power. It doesn't allow you to have one foot in the 3D, one foot in the ether, being pouring and being able to discern and make decisions that is best for you, for your journey. That's what Pluto wants. That's what Pluto wants. He wants to, he's going to be very clear. He wants to give the gift of clarity. He wants to give the gift of that deep Ace of Swords, of that deep transformation. I am definitely watching on banks and establishments. Pluto really did a number on banks in his transit through Capricorn. I don't see why that was, since 2008 is when he got into Capricorn. I don't see why that would change now just because he's ingressing back into Capricorn. But that is one of my predictions. Again, Astrology IRL will definitely have that out there for you. But on October 11th is when he will station retrograde. So and that will be at 27, I'm sorry, he will station direct at 27 degrees, 53 minutes of Capricorn, and then start to work his way back into Aquarius. He is not done in Capricorn. So whatever you see in his first ingress into Capricorn, take note of, because he is going to be doing it again. And then he's going to do it again. So he doesn't officially land in Aquarius until I believe it's November of 2024. So with Pluto still in Aquarius, as we're having this Twitchy Tuesday discussion, I thought it would be good because a lot about technology is kind of where Pluto seems to be having his initial debut in Aquarius, AI in particular, as well as, I mean, you know, it is no wonder Apple releases their virtual reality goggles, right? While Pluto is still in Aquarius, even though he is retrograde. So I'm interested to see how that all kind of processes out. But Queen of Pentacles wanted to show their face, but I actually, oh, there we go. Okay, I think my computer might have froze. So Queen of Pentacles showed its face. So I actually went to Chat GPT. I love AI. I think there is a really, again, it's all about how you use it, right? They're tools. These are all tools. At one time, the car was a really scary concept. The phone was a really scary concept. There's all these things and advancements in technology that it's all in the tool and how you use them. So I thought it would be fun. I actually did type in to Chat GPT asking for a prompt on Pluto's return to Capricorn. So I'm going to read that. And we'll see where this Queen of Pentacles fits in. So Chat GPT stated, Pluto's return to Capricorn signifies a period of transformation where deep-seated structures and systems may undergo a process of upheaval and regeneration. Well, hi, Queen of Pentacles, right? That's what she rules, these structures and systems on the earth, these major structures and systems that regulate us as human, spiritual beings having a human experience, right? That's part of that human experience regulation. This energy encourages us to confront our shadow aspects, release what no longer serves us, and embrace personal and collective transformation. There we go. So that was your AI generated Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. All right, last one up is Mercury in Gemini. We need to hand clap. We need to enjoy all of this moment. I am so ready for Mercury to get in Gemini. I am a Gemini ascendant. I am a mercurial ruled individual. So this is going to be great, but holy F is it going to be fast. Do not sleep on this energy. So first of all, hallelujah. Let's just throw that out there. Praise to all. And don't waste time, because he is literally going into Gemini on 6/11 and exiting Gemini on 6/26. 8 of Pentacles. Look, work already better be getting done, right? He's got to finish these 2 pentacles by the time 6/26 comes around. So don't stop, don't slow down, keep going, keep pushing. It's Mercury and Gemini. In Gemini season, we're going to have a new moon in Gemini. So this is a lot of finally our brains really interpreting information, really getting the go ahead to okay, think, quick action and thought, quick understanding, quick discernment, and in a way that is hopefully very grounded. We have Pentacles here. Stay grounded. Keep your feet on the ground. Keep working on what you're working on. Don't be like, oh, shiny object. Yay, let's go over here and do this. Clear the mind if the mind is getting overwhelmed, because there is the Magician. There is a lot of energy right now, a lot of Gemini energy that's very mutable. It's different than the energy signatures that we have been living in since the beginning of the year. It could feel very chaotic. The word I wrote down with all of this Gemini energy right now was Adderall. That's what it could feel like. Anxiety, overwhelmed, overworked. So it's about staying grounded. It's about keeping to your values, keeping to the things that we've been working through, talking about, understanding, journaling about, all of keeping to what is in front of you and where you're headed, what you're creating, what you're magician, what you're alchemizing. Stay there. Stay there as all of this mutable Gemini energy goes around. Have a parking lot. I love this trick. Go get yourself a whiteboard, get yourself a page in your journal in the back, get a whole new journal if you want, and call it the parking lot. As this Gemini season begins to go everywhere, take your parking lot, write all your ideas down. Put it in the back of the book. Write it down. Leave it there. Allow it to marinate there. Stay focused on what you're doing. Stay focused on what you're already alchemizing. Stay focused on what is already in front of you. Allow that to be there. but give your brain, give this Gemini mutable energy the space that it deserves to be creative, to be free, especially with Venus and Leo, especially with all the other energies we have going on. Allow it that opportunity to be generative, to be creative, to, here, the torch, be the torch, right? Allow it to do that and give it that space. And that's why the parking lot is such a wonderful thing, because you get it out, you honor it. You honor the fact that that was a thought, that is an idea that is worth looking into. It's not a no, it's a not now. So, with Jupiter in Taurus, Jupiter's being this big brother. We love Jupiter as the big brother. He is hopefully allowing the habits that you built in this Taurus, as we've gone through Taurus, as we've had, again, those nodes, as all of the things in the Taurian areas have been, Uranus there, right? Have been uprooted and everything. It's habits built, this Eight of Pentacles, so it can provide this large scale grounding for you. It can provide and amplify this grounding for you to keep you focused on what you're creating now and not a possibility of what you may want to create in the future. We're here. We're now. Okay. So that is where we're at. They're telling me we're done. I'm calling it. We are done. That is your Twitchy Tuesday for this week of 6/6. Hopefully by next Twitchy Tuesday, we'll have the face camera back. But I thank everybody so much for joining me. Thank you for chatting. Make sure to like, share, do all the things we want. We have our Q2 goal. We want 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, as well as 100 subs or 100 followers on Twitch. So that all happens with you sharing, liking yourself, and just becoming part of this community. So I thank you so much for joining me, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.